On April 8th, you could have a chance at seeing something that many have never seen in their lifetime. A total solar eclipse.
Just days away from the most anticipated celestial event in nearly a decade, a total solar eclipse on Monday.
The one coming up on April 8th may very well be the only one you will ever experience.
Tomorrow afternoon, millions of you will get out those special glasses to watch the total solar eclipse as it passes from the Pacific coast of Mexico, across the United States and up into Canada. The luckiest among you will see the eclipse within the path of totality, where the moon covers the sun completely, the sky goes dark, and the stars come out.
So this solar eclipse thing may not be anything that you even care about or is even on your radar. I didn't really know anything about it until I think October or November, when our pastor brought it up in a staff meeting, saying that we need to start thinking about this because it could affect us as a church as far as people coming to our community and things for the solar eclipse. And so I started doing some research and looking into different websites, and this is a big deal. Like Again, I had no idea that all of this was going to happen. I think the last major eclipse that was over the United States was in like 2017, and it was more towards the East Coast, like Tennessee, that direction. This is the first major eclipse like this that has happened in Texas, in East Texas, since I think like the 1800s or something like that. People from all over the world are coming to Texas and places along the line of this eclipse to see this, because it really could be a once in a lifetime thing, and it's just an amazing thing to be, I guess, in the totality, in the place where the sun and the moon line up and you get the maximum amount of darkness. Here in Pittsburgh in East Texas, we are predicted to have about 3.5 minutes of darkness during the eclipse. A friend of mine found this video, and I think he explains it really well.
Hey everyone, let's talk about this total solar eclipse coming on Monday, April 8th. You need to go see this thing. If you don't, you're going to miss out on the greatest brain-warping, mind-melting, glitch in the matrix experience you'll ever have, along with one of the most spectacular sights in the natural world. A total eclipse happens when the moon, right here, slides directly in front of the sun, which is actually white, it's not yellow, blocking its light. The reason this is so special is that the occultation, as I call it, is perfect. In a total solar eclipse, the apparent size of the moon in the sky, that is how big it appears to us on the ground, precisely equals the apparent size of the sun in the sky. The result, if you're standing in the right spot, is 100% coverage of the sun's disk. The moon isn't a little smaller than the sun or a little larger. It's a perfect matching of the two disks, the moon in front of the sun. Here on Earth, because you're suddenly standing in the shadow of the moon, the sky darkens, the air cools, and you have a 360-degree sunrise at the horizon all around you. This entire event happens purely because of a geometric coincidence. There's no practical benefit to eclipses, no natural imperative that generates them, and it just happens to have this unintended consequence of a striking visual for us on the ground. It's pure coincidence. It's a literal gift from the cosmos. And all you have to do is be at the right place at the right time.
So most communities and areas along the line of the eclipse have been preparing for months and maybe even a year now, because they knew that this was going to happen. And most people estimate that areas along the line could see just a huge influx of people. Pittsburgh has around 4,000 to 5,000 people in it, and even more kind of outside in the county. But the estimations are that our population could double or more just from people coming into this area. Our church has even been talking about this because the eclipse is on Monday, but a lot of people are coming in today, which is Friday, and so we could see an influx of people being in this area, traffic, things like that. What does that look like for Sunday? Our church is in a pretty wide open area. There's a big county park across the road, and that's very wide open. It would give a great view. And so are people going to be parking on our parking lot? Are people going to be trying to camp out with RVs and things like that? These are all the things we've been told to kind of prepare for and to be thinking about. Are we going to allow people to do that and those kinds of things? And so, so for us as a church, we've talked about doing some different activities. We had different meetings, and we talked about trying to do some outreach and all these kinds of different things And so there's just a lot of unknown, and we really don't know how it's all going to go. As a church, we kind of decided that we're going to welcome people to be here on Sunday. Maybe we'll have some guests and some things like that. We're going to let people park on our parking lot, I believe, during the event. Just try to not do any overnight camping, things like that. So I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. It could be wild and crazy. It could be nothing. Now they're even saying that it could be cloudy and rainy on Monday. So we may not even be able to see it. Our town and our community has been preparing for this really for probably 9 months or so. And kind of what is that impact going to look like? Businesses, restaurants, hotels, all those kinds of things. Our downtown has done all this kind of stuff. But it's not just an economic thing, there's also a safety factor that comes into a giant influx of people coming into our community. This is Space Alley. Decoration and activities going to be going on down here all weekend. This guy's been welcoming and greeting people into the town for the last few weeks. I don't know if we're expecting an eclipse or an alien invasion, I'm not sure. Oh, that's what that represents.
We interrupt this program to give you a bulletin just received from one of our naval units at sea.
Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
It is eclipse day, and it's about 10 o'clock or so, and looks like it's sunny right now. It was nice and cloudy this morning, but a lot of that has burned off, and so that's good. Hopefully it'll stay this way. A little bit of a breeze, so even if something blows in, maybe it'll go away. Weather says that it's going to be partly cloudy most of the day, and then storms later this evening. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. The eclipse starts around 12:20. And will be partial, and then the full totality, where the moon is completely blocking the sun, is supposed to be like from 1:40, 1:45, somewhere in there, and should last about 3.5 minutes of darkness. And so even if there is some cloud cover, we still will get the darkness, but we won't get to see the actual eclipse. So we're just kind of hoping that it's going to stay clear today. And they said it was going to be cloudy yesterday, and yesterday was beautiful. So hopefully that will be today as well. Our kids are out of school. They have these glasses that we have to wear for before and after totality. Otherwise it can really damage your eyes. But for totality, you can take them off and experience the darkness and everything. So we're about 20 minutes away from totality. The eclipse has begun. It's kind of hard to film, so I'm not even gonna really try, but there are definitely some clouds rolling in, moving this direction. So we will see. Hopefully they'll stay away long enough to get to see this thing. Probably not a great camera shot. We are about 12 minutes away from totality, maybe 13 minutes away. These don't fit my face because I have a fat head. Camera is staying that exposure so we can see how dark it is.
Look how much brighter the edges get.
Oh wow. Just a sliver. So Totality is over. We are still in a partial eclipse, but the clouds have rolled in, and so we really can't see a whole lot right now. But man, that was epic. That was amazing. I've watched a lot of videos kind of leading up to this to learn a little bit and to kind of know what to expect from different testimonies and things. And I just kind of thought it'd be kind of cool. But last night and this morning, man, I've just been excited about it. You know, people in the videos were talking about like this being just once in a lifetime thing. And it is. It really is just an amazing thing to get to be a part of. And that we got to watch it from our front porch. We didn't have to travel anywhere. And that other video, you know, that guy was talking about how these things just happen. And as believers, we know that that's not true. Like, we know that God created everything. You know, John 1 talks about everything was created by him, and he holds all those things together. Colossians talks about everything was created by Jesus, for him and by him, right? And then there's a verse in Psalm 19 verse 1. It's just a beautiful verse. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. And man, we got to see that today. We got to see that firsthand, that the skies talk about and glorify God. God did that, I believe, for us, not just for us here, but like he creates these phenomena, these things that people explain with science, and it is science, but God orchestrated all that. God put all that together, and all of this was his idea. All of this creation was his idea, and he spoke it into existence and set the world spinning and rules over it all and loves us enough to think about us in that way, to put those things into his creation, to point back to him and to glorify him, and that we get to be in awe of and be amazed by. Today, I don't know, millions of people across the United States are getting to experience this. And I hope that they see God in it. I hope that they don't just think, man, that was cool chance thing that we got to encounter, but that it was the God of the universe, and the heavens and the skies were declaring his majesty and his glory today. Our God is awesome. He's on his throne and he's in charge. Hey, if you're watching this, leave a comment. Let me know where you watched from, and if you got to see a partial or if you were in the totality, and kind of let us know a little bit about what that was like for you. Because again, once in a lifetime opportunity, but everybody in the United States, I think, got to see a part of it, as long as there weren't clouds. So leave a comment down below, and thank you so much for watching. And until next time, walk humbly.